Hello and welcome to GT Railfan Productions. Now today is going to be a different video type as this is going to be a model train review. Now I haven't done a model train review in probably, I'd say the last one I did, at least I remember doing, was the Ahearn Genesis HO Scale Norfolk Southern Erie Lackawanna Heritage Unit SD70ACE number 1074. I did that in 2014 and I was probably 11 years old, so that video is a little bit cringe and, but I was excited to have a model and I wanted to do a model train review because I was into model trains at that time. Not saying I never got out of it, I just wasn't as interested after the fact because I never really had the space to run stuff. So now I recently just purchased this new locomotive from, Bowser. It is a ALCO or MLW M636 or C636, and it is WNY&P or Western New York and Pennsylvania number 636. And I was looking for a WNY&P locomotive, and from Bowser I always found those very cool looking when I saw them get reviewed and stuff online. So to actually see one in person and have it in my hand is pretty awesome. Now we're going to get into the details of the locomotive. I'm going to zoom in on the front of the locomotive and we're going to point out a lot of the, aspects of it. So I'm going to do that now. Alright, so we have the number here, obviously. We have the WNY&P reporting marks, Western New York and Pennsylvania Railroad. 636, I believe, I never have seen this locomotive run, personally, but it was a unit, M636, on WNY&P's roster, and I believe it had the more reddish, orangish, it's more of a reddish tint to it, but under the light and everything, but it can look like a sort of like a pinkish red in a sense, but it's still dark. Compared to the other M636s, 685 and 643 were more of an orange look to it, and the Bowser model of 638 has that same orange. I would say 637 and 638 have more of a pinkish look to it now, presently, than, when it was brand new, it was probably more of an orange. Yeah. So right here you have your trucks, very nice and detailed here. You have your handrails, which this one is popped out slightly, and I will have to fix that because it's just a little bit, it's handrails I can deal with because you can easily fix those by putting a little bit of like super glue on the end of it, and so don't be bothered by this, being kind of out of place. It's because this kind of came off, and if you try to put it in there, then it's like, see how it counteracts each other? So it's not even worth, trying to put it in there and have something else break. So, like I said, then we have our steps right here. We have the coupler, which I believe they are Katy couplers. Yeah, I believe so. I'm sorry, I'm looking through my video camera mostly, doing most of this stuff, so bear with me. And then I'll do more of a detailed look of the front here in a moment. But yeah, like I said, we have the ice skate antenna here as well. Back here, we have the horn. I'll give a closer look of it when we do like a side view on the other side of the locomotive. You have your number boards right here. Your class lights or your marker lights, whatever. Technically they're class lights, but you will have option for, I believe these are marker lights, this one right here. These are the class. But since there's two, it's technically class lights. Then you have your windshield wipers, which I believe are plastic, but they could be a metal, so don't quote me on that. Then you have your little grab-on handrails. And then you have your sand filling hatch right here on the top. And I believe 637 does not have the black on the top. But I believe I can confirm 638 has the black on the top of the nose, and I don't know about 685 and 643. I couldn't tell you by heart. But yeah. Basically what I plan on doing with the Locomotive is having it turned into WNY&P 637 because it has class lights. See, if it did not have class lights, it would probably be turned into 638. I plan on installing a DCC decoder and, a speaker for DCC and sound. And it will have accurate sounding to the actual WNY&P 637. So one of my videos I will take, and when I send it down to my buddy, Josh, he will work on it, and he can actually program, like, if I send him a video of the horn and probably the bell, I think he can do as well. He will actually he will be able to program that into the Locomotive. So that is very cool. So now what I'm going to do is turn the Locomotive straight towards us so we can get a very nice look at the front of the Locomotive. So we have the air hoses right here with the silvered finish on the end, like the little gaskets that you connect together with air hoses. That's the things that bust apart when they make that sound. You have your ditch lights right here. 1, 2. I believe this is the what do you call it? This is like the handrail for I believe for coupling, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it is, but this part right here. Then you have your MU box, which is right here with this little red dot on it, and this is the MU cable, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, this is your sand filling hatch, your nose headlight, number boards, cab windows, windshield wipers, and then you have your class lights up here. So yeah, here I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so you can get an overview of the top of the Locomotive. So now we're looking at the other side, and it's the full side of it. And what we'll be looking at is just basically the whole side of it and pointing out a lot of the aspects of it. So we've already covered basically this whole area. Oh yeah, we forgot to cover the horn, basically. That's the horn. I'll do a quick zoom in of it after this. And then we have the little danger, stickers on it, which I think that is very cool. That is like, if you have a very thing with detail, that is just, ooh, that's why I love models. Then you have your emergency shut-off button right here in the middle. Nice fuel tank right here. I believe that's the thing. It's for the dynamic braking, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not positive. But yeah. Then we have I believe this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is like a walkway on the top, or I might be wrong. I'm just gonna skip that. Here's your little something or this is where the exhaust comes out, where you get your bellowing smoke, your bulging smoke coming out. If you're lucky with the smoke god or somebody with a cool crew. Then you have your exhaust up here. So that's very cool. And here's your trucks on the side, very nice and detailed. I do not know what this is for, but I'm assuming it's a vent for just heating, letting out heat, and maybe another access way into getting other parts. But yeah. Alright, now we're on the long hood side of the locomotive, and same thing up in the front. We have the air hoses with the silvered finishes, where you connect other air hoses with freight cars or other locomotives. You have your coupler, same thing, hooking up with another locomotive or freight car. I believe they're Katy couplers. Other air hoses. You have your ditch lights on the long hood side. Then you have your handrails. You have your chain right here. You have your grab irons, your number on the back side, and your headlight, and then you have a sand filling hatch above here as well. And your MU box is right here, where this little red dot and black box is, and then the cord goes across. The only difference I noticed on this side of the locomotive is these yellow pieces on the locomotive right here on the fuel tanks. These little yellow pieces, I believe from my observations, are little fuel inserts, so when you refill the locomotive, this was the way to refuel it into the fuel tank. At least this is my observations and my predictions of what it is. I could be wrong. Correct me in the comments if I am. These two little things. Your emergency shutoff button is here as well. That's also on the other side. And then you have this sticker, this red sticker right here, and this white sticker above. That's the only differences I see on this side of the locomotive compared to the other side. This model is such a great model. I mean, the locomotive itself is very cool, but seeing it as a model is very nice. It's very detailed. Bowser did a great job. I can't wait to get DCC Sound installed and renumber the locomotive, and can't wait to run it.
Oh, man, I didn't know so good. You put that on there?
I lost connection. The server is through the deck. They're connected to home and they can't connect to it. So again, I could just say everyone needs to buy a controller. 2 weeks, goddamn.
I didn't check it.